Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, Matthew gets done. Oh, Matthew gets the apron around the Strexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. It's 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Not between the two car lengths. Too little too late for Derek and Smith. Oh, clapping gets third! Clapping gets third! Oh my gosh! Side by side, 3 wide at the wire! We welcome everybody back here live for tonight's main event here for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series. Round number 4, we're going to go into the books. We're coming up on halfway already. And here at Chicagoland to duke it out for 65 laps, going to crown another victor here at Illinois. Welcome y'all out here live. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Again, this track does no longer exist on the regular NASCAR circuit, but here in iSCAR it still does. Of course, I don't know what the schedule releases if anyone didn't see them. Chicagoland got left off of everything, along with Kentucky, but it lives on here in the virtual world, and it's a big change of scenery compared to what we've seen for the first 3 weeks of the Yost Auto Sales Series season. We started off with Daytona and then went to 2 short tracks. So the first mile and a half these cars will be on this season, so might be the most unique race of the season so far, quite honestly.
That's right. I'm interested to see on how everybody would play their cards out here tonight. This is actually, I think, the first 1.5 miler we're going to visit on the schedule for the season. After that, it's going to be a span of 1.5 milers from this point forward, as well as, of course, the race that everybody's looking forward to, race number 10 at Talladega. But before we talk about the schedule, we need to talk about the current situation with points. Christopher Weil and that number 41, who's currently leading practice as of right now. That number 41 leads points as well. It was Blaze Crawford at the end of the day at Lucas Oil, but unfortunately a late race points penalty with leading laps under yellow has halted him back to 124 as of right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the board. I think with, only this will be 6 races to go after tonight. I think anybody that's not on the screen right now has pretty much no chance at this point of getting to that championship. But I'm looking at mainly the top 5 in the points so far. So Jake Sylvia up there, only 9 points back. Dallas Myhan, 25. Dominic Howe, 26. Of course, still plenty of other guys on this screen that are capable of getting up there. But if anybody is going to get that 41, I think it's going to be somebody in that top 5.
Yeah, the man who's doing the best job out of that top 5 was Blaze Crawford, of course. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't run up away with points lead as of right now, but you see the gap between first and second, only 2 points between those two. So one, you got to keep track of bonus points as well, because leading laps and most laps led, finishing the race with 0 incidents, that can make the difference at the end.
Yeah, bonus points are key in a series like this with the points format of only 1 point for every position. If you can get even 2 or 3 bonus points, that really can make a huge difference. About a minute left so far in practice, and speaking of the points leader, Christopher Weil, currently on top of the board here in practice. That, at this point, pretty famous pink, green, and blue, number 41, runs that in pretty much every series he runs here in iSCAR, and won in that scheme the other night at Atlanta in the Nice Design Series. That 41's on a bit of a roll here in the last week or so, trying to go 2 in a row across the different iSCAR series.
Yeah, Parker White in the 095 did not have a great Lucas Oil showing, but that triple-digit 095, he too has been running toward the front these past couple of races. I expect that 095 to actually be in victory lane someday, but right now he just has to execute and make his time right here for these 65 laps we're going to run at Chicagoland. We're going to scoot ourselves to the side as time expires on the 00s. We'll be right back right after this. We'll play the national anthem and go go ahead and return up to qualifying. Rise out, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. We welcome everybody back here live for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series. Round number 4, we're going to go into the books, but first we're setting our qualifying order for this 43 car field. Fastest 20 going to be shown on the left-hand side of the screen, as everybody currently taking laps around as of right now. Currently 20 have logged in at least one. Dylan Alt in the 98 holds the top spot.
Yeah, by an entire tenth over Nick Miller so far, and now Brody Gardner. So that's a good lap put down for that 98. And SPM currently second and third, and that is not a good thing to do on your qualifying lap.
The good thing about that is this is first come, first serve, so everybody in this qualifying session will make it into the feature. So people like who usually don't who have bad luck in LCQs, Brayson Collins in the 5, Ibrahim Dajani in the 4, they're going to be able to race here tonight.
Yeah, a bit of a change in scenery for this format. We've tried a couple different things, seeing what works better, and for the rest of this particular series, it'll be first come, first serve from here on out. Series sponsor Scott Yost there in the 85, taking his fastest 2 laps. Cody Webster did pretty good at Atlanta the other night in the Xfinity race. P4 on the board right now. Austin Johnson in the 31, his second race back after quite lengthy layover, but good to see him back consistently. We're up there in the top 5. Harrison Chandler with a good run so far for him, currently P10 on the board, so some interesting names up here towards the front. About a minute and change left here in qualifying, so we'll see where these positions shake out.
Oh, there goes Bianchini. And...
Oh,
no. He kept it off the wall. Luckily for that 48, no damage on that machine.
Run, but good job keeping it off the wall, though.
Axiur, he too made usually worrisome about those the LCQs. Luckily, of course, first come first serve here tonight. At number 6 will be one of the 43. Make a start here tonight. See William Schmidt in the number 79, of course, just came from Laura. If anybody familiar with that, that number 79 runs here also in iSCAR. I don't know any other people who run Laura from this series that some casual broadcasters might pick up off, because the iSCAR field is really, really diverse.
Agreed, and quite a few people from here also run over in the Redline Cup Series hosted by our own Cody Webster, the
That's
defending
not good.
champion here, and that is hard to achieve, but I guess Kyler Wynn has managed to flip in qualifying. I think that's a first this season, but I would hope, but at least he was guaranteed in the race. But we'll get you here, your starting lineup here for the Chicagoland 97 in a second.
Yep, we'll go ahead and pull up grid results right in front of your
There we go.
screen. Dylan Alt in that number 98 will win the pole by a whole 10th over that number 41 of Christopher Wow, who is your points leader.
And in row number 3, an SPM lockout of Brody Gardner and Nick Miller. So 3 SPM cars in the top 4.
They've been really strong this whole entire season. No surprise, though. Cody Webster in that number 9 won with Proximity Machines. Austin Johnson also alongside of him.
And then row number 4, Thomas Lloyd in the 63. Good run for him. And Parker White in the 095 up there in the points.
Parker running for Rapid. Thomas running, I think, for his own team. For Lloyd Racing or something. I know they spanned out from Basin Racing. Mark Frimpong in that number 53. He's here tonight, as well as Colton Zimmer, one of the Basin Racing machines.
Charlie Byer and Harrison Chandler make up row number 6. Rest of the order will scroll at the bottom of your screen. Pick your favorite driver and hope they win or do pretty good here tonight. Gonna see some interesting names here further back in this field. There's Scott Yost rounding out top 20. Peter Kenny, Daytona 250 winner, back there as well. There's going to definitely be some names to watch for as we go further back in this field. There's Dominic Cowie's 5th in points. Schmidt's up there in the top 10 as well. Myhan's up there in the points as well in the top 5. So for them, they're going to have to do some work to get up there towards the front of this field and maintain their point standings.
Tyler Coners in 44 is going to be the last driver who will grid here for the evening. A lot of drivers currently not on the track.
Could be some pit road starters here.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to most likely be starting from the pits, but this will give us some time to go ahead and pull up race analysis to see on how these drivers will attack tonight's 65-lap event. Chicagoland Speedway, 1.5 miles in length. Time of day roaming around, looks like around noon, so it should be fairly slippery out on the racetrack. Pit road speed, 50 miles per hour. 2 tire sets for these drivers to strategize upon. And the fuel window, probably a bit underestimated right there, 45 to 50, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it'll be a one-stop race regardless. I mean, you'll probably see some green flag stops or maybe some stops under caution, at least for the tires. And, of course, you can just, top off on gas in the process. So I don't think fuel will be an issue by any means tonight, unless we happen to go green the entire way. But we'll see. Looks like a couple more people waiting to grid up. And hopefully that wasn't a 4X.
Probably wasn't small tab, 0X and such like that. Dylan not messing around with Brody Gardner. Of course, those two made contact last time we took the green with Brody Gardner and that number 55 coming up top. So maybe a bit of tension between those two. Dylan not just reminding him.
Who knows? Yeah, Dylan absolutely dominated the first half of that Lucas Oil race, and Brody Gardner played his cards right and won that race on tire strategy, and what was probably the best finish of the entire season so far, with all the different crossover moves and what we saw there. Christopher Weil, I believe, finished in second in that race, if my memory serves me correct.
That's right. That's why he's in the points lead.
Yep, SPM won 2 last week. Can they do it again for the second week in a row? And could they even do even better than that? Maybe even make it a 1-2-3 here with 3 cars starting in this top 5. But 65 laps to figure all of that out. Dylan Alt, Christopher Weil will lead us here to the green. And I'm looking forward to this one tonight again. First 1.5 mile track we'll be at here for the Yost Auto Sales Series. So it's going to be something different than what we've seen up to this point. So how will these guys approach the track in the race, and who will come out on top?
iSCAR scoots itself left, 97 laps. Gonna go
Green
into,
flag,
did I say
green
97?
Yes,
I think
you
that's
did.
right. But anyway, we take the green flag. Dylan up and away here into turns 1 and 2. He'll clear the 41 and Christopher Weil as they span 3 wide in the back.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see some fanning out. Hopefully that doesn't result in an early race wreck, and it just might, and it does. Colton Zimmer's going to hit the wall. Carson Poindexter's going to go around, and oh my, that's a lot of people. Michael Kenner in the 14 goes around, and I knew as soon as that first car went around, that was going to be trouble. And for about 10 or 12 people, it's big trouble, and there's going to be some people out of the race from this one.
Yikes. You hate to see it. Yeah, man. They started stacking up. I think the 53.
Somebody got
sure.
wicked loose.
Yeah.
And then Zimmer checked up, I think, got a tap from someone behind him, but that started right in front. I don't know who it was, but we'll see. But somebody got really out of shape right in front of Colton Zimmer, and I think he slowed down, and when he slowed down, he got hit from behind.
It was Frimpong.
Yeah, and looks like Joyner got into Colton. There's Carson in the wall, and that was a big hit to the 09. I don't know who just hit him, but man, that was a heck of a shot. Here. Wonder if Frimpong hit the apron? Oh, he did. That'll do it. Hunter Rupp there in the 1 car. He got a
that's
big
Dominic
piece of that.
Howe.
That was Schmidt that got into Colton Zimmer.
No, it was actually Dominic Howe in the number 86 right there. Oh, that is Schmidt as well.
Yeah, both of them hit him. I didn't see Dominic's at first. And Dominic came into tonight 5th in points. William came in 9th. So big hits in the points potentially for the 2 of them. Carson came in 12th, and he got the outside wall on that. So that's going to definitely shake up probably the back half of this top 10 in the points. As we have a rear camera here of the 53 Mark Frimpong, and right there got the apron, and there's your stack up, and around went the 09. Definitely a racing incident there, but unfortunately going to take some people out of contention early.
Yeah, especially when there's only 2 tire sets to last this whole entire race. Some drivers are going to use up their first, and they're going to have to sort of...
That's interesting.
They're going to have
For
to...
the guys that gone out, it makes sense, but...
Right. Dylan Ault disconnected.
I wonder if he was disqualified.
I'm not really sure, but that 98 looks like Alt F4.
Wow.
I'm not really sure what that's about, but he's not being displayed on the standings. So, that'll be...
Well, that'll put...
Yeah, Brody Garner.
So now we do have an SPM 1-2, at least for the time being, but pole sitter and race leader Dylan Ault looks like he's out of the race here after just a single lap. So we'll try to get an update on what happened there. But the only thing that... Well, actually, no, never mind, but looks like 5 or so people total at least 1 lap down. I think Harry Grindle and Brian Mullen also got a good amount of damage. And that looks like Youngman may not have even started. There's Mullen.
Still 2 laps to go, probably until
I think Wild just did.
Oh, actually, he fell out. I'm not sure. He's not being Oh, there. I think he's back. No, he's not. He's not being displayed on the standings right now. I'm not sure if people are just dropping out, but
well, apparently Dylan just Alt F4'd on his own.
So I think that's a connection issue by the 41 at Christopher Wall. He has to hope he gets reconnected. Because if he doesn't get connected, that is going to be huge.
Actually, is Blaze Crawford even in the field tonight? I don't even know if I saw him on the starting lineup ticker. Is he even here?
I'm not even sure.
Because if he's not here, I don't know if I saw Jake Sylvia either.
Yeah, so this whole top 3 is somehow in trouble. And Dominic Howe got involved in that first wreck. So that opens up the door for Dallas Myhan, who's... yeah, Myhan's here. He's sitting 15th right now. And that also opens up the door for, oh, around goes Jarek in the back. I'm not really sure what that was about, but
that may have been some teammate thing there. I think that was Tashani that was right behind him. That may have been some teammate shenanigans.
Yeah, that was the 6 is gonna have to get that penalty cleared because he did hit pit road, but that opens up the door for people like
Myhan.
Dallas Myhan, Dominic Howe, of course, he got involved in that first lap wreck, but Harry Grindle as well, who's 2 points behind Dallas Myhan, so that's 70 also.
Grindle's lap, I think. Grindle lost 2. He lost 2 laps. I think he may have been involved or either pit road started or something. So the entire top 5 with some form of issue, except for Dallas Myhan. So that 41 has got an absolute real chance here of potentially taking the points lead if he finishes high enough. But so the restart will be Brody Gardner, Cody Webster, Nick Miller, Thomas Lloyd, and Austin Johnson. So a pretty different looking top 5 after just a single lap. And we are back underway here for what has become a very interesting Chicagoland race.
We've only logged in 1 green flag lap, and there's a lot of things on paper to talk about already. We head themselves into turn 1 and 2. Another car tags the apron but doesn't get loose. That's a 31 of Austin Johnson, who slides himself into 4th place. They'll go side by side for 5th as Thomas Lloyd, never minded that, taking 3 wide to the bottom. Here comes Latham Joyner as Parker White's going to back out of that one.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move by the 095 to potentially avoid an incident there, but I don't think, Thomas Lloyd just isn't looking that great up on the high side. He needs to get down to the bottom and see where he runs there because he's losing spots fast. Already down to 7th after restarting in 4th, but the 003 of Joyner now into the top 5 after getting into Colton Zimmer on that first incident. So now Thomas Lloyd's on the bottom, so maybe he'll be able to get something to work here as he looks under Parker for 6th.
Miller looks fairly slow. He might have tagged the wall off of 2 because he was running top 3.
He was 3rd, and now he's maybe even out of the top 10. So that'll put Austin Johnson in the 31 up into that 3rd spot and Joyner to 4th. So quite a few issues for quite a few contending cars. On board here with the 9 of Cody Webster's, he looks to take this race lead away from Brody Gardner. They'll look low here into turn 3, and I think Brody just wiggled and got really out of shape, and easily to the lead goes Webster, and here comes Austin for 2nd as well. And he'll get it.
Webster was last year's champion as well as last year's winner here at this racetrack. He beat Dylan Basin in a shootout, which propelled him in standings as well. But for the 9 of Cody Webster, these are valuable points he's going to add onto his resume. But unfortunately for Webster, his point situation doesn't look as pretty as it did last season. He currently sits 19th in points, but currently having a good run, though.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough time for him to rebound and maybe have a run at the championship, but with the entire top 5 in points having issues except for Dallas Myhan, it's entirely possible that this race could be a turning point for quite a few people in terms of maybe contending for a title. So be sure to check the ticker fairly often as this race goes on and see where certain guys end up finishing here tonight. As here's a move here. Dane Cruz in the 80 picking up a spot or 2 there underneath Thomas Lloyd and Scott Yost. Schmidt's out there still after clobbering. Whoa, and a big slide there from Scott Yost, and a great job missing him by Schmidt, but he's still out there after hitting Colton Zimmer, so we'll see how long that motor lasts.
Tyler Wynn in the 084 also on the racetrack. He works himself to the bottom side of that 84 for series sponsor. They're also side by side around 12th spot. Jackson Menchie works himself inside this or attempts to work himself this top 10 as Miller finally retakes that 10th spot. Now Webster up front, Austin Johnson in 2nd, Brody Gardner in 3rd. They're starting to pace the field and pull themselves away. You see Miller get real sideways on the entry at turn number 1. Seems as though these drivers are experiencing fairly loose condition out on the racetrack. I'm interested to see what the weather is in the bottom right.
Well, track temp of 96 will definitely make a slick surface. Not nearly as slick as what we saw at Atlanta with a track temp of over 120 degrees, but still fairly hot. And we do have our second caution of the night here on lap 13. And we'll get a look and see what brought that out. The Nova car in the grass.
Looks like Josh Patterson.
Ooh, lost
Loose
it.
right up off the corner, and around he sort of went.
I am shocked. That was a caution.
Oh, no, that was caution.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Almost had it saved, but couldn't quite keep it going, and that might be the end of the night for him. So that will explain why it went from a non-caution to a caution, but fortunately nobody else involved.
So open up the door.
For Patterson, though.
Yeah, this will open up the door for drivers to like to go onto pit road. And Webster,
Whoa.
Garner, look how many people are using that sort of runoff area to weave right, and somebody got baited.
Got dunked on. Yeah. One car, and that's Latham Joyner in the 003. He just got dunked on by the entire top 5. The only one still be on pit road, so looks like he'll take the first of his 2 tire sets. Looks like a few more people towards the back will do the same. And I'm interested to see who got the free pass for that, because there were a few people that were a couple laps down that are still out on the track. So we'll see who that was. And it looks like it's going to be Harry Grindle in the 70 getting one of his 2 laps back. So halfway towards getting back on the lead lap. But for Christopher Weil, who I believe reconnected, still stuck 2 laps down for now.
Yeah, and he's going to have to hope for some wrecks to happen, because that 41 is stuck all the way back in 39th place as of right now. We'll gain an extra spot with Josh Patterson disconnecting. But for the 41, he's in a bit of trouble right now, because if he does have a long green flag running, he'll have to hope for at least 2 or 3 more cautions, because Harry Grindle is still 1 lap down. So if that 70 could get catch a caution, he'll be on the lead lap, but Christopher will still be stuck down too. And he'll have to hope for another 2 cautions for him to be on the lead lap. And he has to be the first car 1 lap down, unless he wants to gamble and stay himself out. Stay that number 41 out to get a wave around, but I'm not really sure if that's gonna happen for him, because we have so limited tire sets here.
Yeah, only 2 tire sets available for the drivers tonight, so maybe it'll play into him trying to save one, but again, you do have to pit at least once for at least fuel, so we'll see how Chris decides to tackle this and if it gets him back onto the lead lap or not. But lap 15, currently Webster still out front, Austin Johnson still up in second. So could this be where Cody gets his first win of the season? Already led half of the race so far. Obviously aided a bit by Dylan disconnecting and Chris's connection issues, but with that being said, the 9 car is a good opportunity here to break through and maybe get himself on a bit of a roll here as we get through the middle part of this series.
Not really sure, because the amount of points that are being handed out per race, that number 9 of Webster, I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to really make up that ground. We'll have to see, because anything could happen here in the Bronze Series after all, because 1 race could make the difference. Cars will cross the start-finish line this time, but I will most likely get the 1 to go. Austin Johnson, the number 31, will be starting in 2nd place. Brody Garner in 3rd. Of course, we mentioned him as a last week's winner. At number 55, picking up the win at Lucas Oil Raceway. We'll see if he can go 2 in a row, right behind Webster. I'm curious to see if that number 31 of Austin Johnson does have wins in iSCAR. I'm not really sure.
I'm not entirely sure either, but of course I don't think he would mind winning another one tonight, whether that happens or not. Whether he does or not. Of course, Cody Webster has won quite a few times here. Parker White yet to win. Brody Gardner won last week and a couple times before that. Sartaj Mon won his first race not that long ago. Frimpong still looking for his first win. Dominic's won a few times. Harrison Chandler looking for his first win. Menchu's won a couple times in the wackiest ways possible. And Miller's won. So a good chunk of the top 10 looking for either their first win or their first win in a very long time.
Yeah, I just checked the statistics for that number 31 of Austin Johnson. 0 wins in iSCAR. So that number 31 looking for his first
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. We're up and away yet again for the second restart of the night, as Cody Webster gets a nice one over Brody Gardner as they work into one. 3 wide toward the back. Miller works himself down low, passes Harrison Chandler.
Yeah, Miller hit the apron and still managed to complete that pass, and I'm not quite sure how. They're 3 wide farther back around where William Schmidt and Carson Poindexter are. And that blue car up on the high side, that's Charlie Byer in the 7. As they work their way through turns 3 and 4, they get themselves straightened out. They might go 3 wide here in the front stretch, though. That's Dane Cruz in the 80 and I think maybe my hand. But here comes Austin Johnson. Actually, no, Brody got by him for second. So Gardner trying to get himself back towards the lead after that wobble a few laps ago. But here comes Austin with a run of his own down the backstretch, trying to regain that second spot.
Miller getting attacked by that number 49, his own teammate, but of course Miller runs for SPM. Also hooked up with proximity on other series, but looks like Austin Johnson overtook for second place and moved that 31 back into position. But Parker White in the yellow 95 wants to get 2 for 1. You see Gardner really loose there in the middle of the turns. Number 1 and 2 will slip back a bit and give the chance an opportunity for the yellow 95 of Parker to maybe challenge, but looks like he's just boxed in. Can't really go anywhere. He'll back up the corner here though and try to attempt for a run on the front stretch.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here out of 4, but it looks like he didn't gain that much ground. But as they battle, that allows Cody Webster to pull further away from the rest of this top 5. Now almost a half-second gap between himself and that 31 machine. Looking around 8th place here, that's Harrison Chandler there in the 029.
Oh!
And no, what a save!
He's still
from
sideways.
Austin Johnson. Oh my goodness, and that will give Parker White the second spot as he takes into 3. Johnson's going to go in the wrong direction, and here comes Brody trying to regain second, and Frimpong is there as well. So that was a huge wobble there rather from Austin Johnson. That's going to send him back to around 7th or 8th, and now we're 3 wide for second.
Still 3 wide, looks like Gardner slips up, give the run to the 095. Frimpong attempting to split the middle. Gardner washes up, nearly pinched out that 53. Miller's also in there in the mix. There's a scramble, all sorts of places for this top 5.
There too.
My goodness, they're all over the place.
Austin's right there in this mix again as well. Sartaj Mon and the 49's there. We got like 7 cars all under a blanket looking for between second and...
Whoa, Miller got loose. He had to check up. Austin had to check up.
Another good job there from Austin to avoid a wreck. That's 2 within a lap. Good piece of driving from Austin Johnson. And that's going to allow Sartaj Mon and the 49 to try to take a top 5 spot here into turn 3, as Frimpong will clear for 4th. And now Brody will retake second once again from Parker White. So there's spots being exchanged all over the place in this top 10, and that's probably going to keep going as this run goes on.
Tell you what, man, I cannot believe that 31 of Austin Johnson saved that race car. He was dead sideways off the corner. He's still sort of sideways trying to wheel it correctly. They're going to go 3 wide, maybe yet again here for this position, as Dominic Howe in the 86 will work himself downstairs. Stuck in the middle is Miller. Sertaj attempts to come down, but looks like cannot make the car stick. He slips right off the corner. Still 3 wide as Parker White right up against the safer barrier. And here comes Frimpong as well.
Dominic's up there in 5th now as well after that damage with the contact there on the first lap with Colton Zimmer. So looks like his car is still doing pretty good. And this is a big opportunity for Dominic to really gain some ground in the point standings, with Chris still trapped 2 laps down. So what will Dominic do here? Will he try to be aggressive, or will he just try to stay in this top 5 for as long as he can?
I think he's sort of sandwiched. He has to race in this kind of scenario. He doesn't want to stop racing now because there's so many positions to be gained and the loss. So that 86 just has to run his own race and keep himself inside this top 10 for right now. But looks like he'll clear Parker White. And now they're starting to get singled out as Dominic will attempt to clear Parker right up off the corner.
Barely. Yeah, and while this is all going on, look at the gap now between Brody Gardner and Cody Webster. That is now 2.2 seconds. Cody is absolutely checked out into another zip code with all this battling going on, as he was able to just pull right away with all these guys battling and switching positions. So if this stays green for a while, the 9 car may have just had this race fall right into his hands.
31 of Austin Johnson works himself down low in the 86. Dominic Cal. Oh, another big wiggle there as Garner will fend out low and box out Frimpong, but looks like he overshot the corner because he went all the way to the low side.
Here he comes.
Opens up to 53, down for second place. Garner attempts to maybe crossover as, look at the scramble right behind as well. They are all over each other for the second spot, and Webster loves seeing this in his mirror, as if he can, because he's so far out ahead. He's in turn number 2 as all these drivers are still. Oh, there goes Frimpong!
Oh, there goes Frimpong!
Caution is out.
And he's gonna always gonna get hit hard right there. Oh, that's Harrison Chandler in the 029. Nowhere to go. And his good run, his good top 10 runs gonna come to an end, and somebody else hit Chandler at the end of that.
Oh man,
it looks
that
like
sucks.
That really sucks for Chandler.
Oh, that's insult to injury.
That right there. That was Joe Burgee for what it's worth.
No, that was actually Tyler Coners, I think. I'm not really sure. It was.
Oh, well, Burgee's in a Red Bull car all the time. If that was Burgee, that's a summary of his season right there.
I don't think Burgee is
Corey
even
got
in the
a piece from
race.
Harrison. That might be an EOL to Brody. Also.
That sucks for Frimpong. He was really entertaining in that top 5, but he was trying to turn down and keep it pinned to the bottom side of the track, but Brody ended up running the 53 over and bang right there goes Harrison Chandler.
And then Corey got a piece, and then somebody hit Harrison, I think. And then here's the you're right, that is Tyler Connors in the 44. As Frimpong came up and boop. Oh, that's yeah, I immediately thought that was Joe Burgee because he runs a Red Bull car every single week, no matter what series it is. But indeed, it is the 44, and looks like a ton of people are coming down, and including Cody Webster. So this might be where Christopher Weil stays out and tries to get the wave around and get one of his laps back. I don't think I see him on pit road, so I think that 41 may have taken the wave around, and this was the perfect opportunity for him to do so, with Webster making what's probably going to be his only stop of the night.
Not sure. You'll have to use one more tire set, maybe to. You could strategize with one more tire set, and there's still 37 laps to go. So, for all these drivers, not really sure on when they're gonna hit pit road. I'm sure they're gonna use that second set. It's just a matter of when. And you see all here, all right. In this area, it looks like the top 6 all stayed out to maybe, I guess, save a set. But man, we're pretty deep into this run. 30 laps now, going to be logged in as Latham Joyner in the 003, Liam Sheen, Paul Granada, Brayson Collins, Henry Clapper, Scott Yost, all staying out, but looks like a few of them will scoot left onto pit road. One of those among that is the 41 of Christopher Weil, who unfortunately, no wave around for him, as the wave around will be given to the 70 of Harry Grindle.
So you mentioned it, Joyner now to the race lead. Liam Sheen, Paul Granada, Scott Yost. Looks like they are the 4 that stayed out. Parker White may have as well. So it looks like Webster will line up 6th rather than first on the restart. So we'll see how long these front 4 can stay out there on their older tires. But there's the 9, led 2/3 of the race up to this point. 20 out of the soon-to-be 30 run up to this point. So we'll see how quickly he can try to get back up there on the restart.
Like Parker White elected fuel only on that machine. That's why he's in 5th spot.
Huh.
That's an interesting call for the 095. I guess he came down on a pit road, of course, just to make it all the way from this point forward, but he's going to be probably ran over here in the restart, unfortunately. We'll go through the order here quickly as Latham Joyner in the 003, leading his first laps of the night. Liam Sheen in the 02, Paul Granada, Scott Yost, Parker White, Cody Webster, first car on tires, Dominic Howe, Austin Johnson, Carson Poindexter, Nick Miller, Jackson Menchuster, Taj Mon, Kyler Wynn, William Schmidt, Dane Cruz, Charlie Byer, Dallas Myhan, Seth Hood, Garrett Hess, Ibrahim Dejani round out the top 20.
You said that a lot faster than I probably could have if I tried. but there is, in fact, your top 20. So the top 5 again, no tires at all. Parker again went fuel only. Top 4 did not pit. I do wonder if anybody decided to take 2 tires only. I'm sure maybe somebody in the field did, but I don't know how much of a difference that will make.
We have a bit of changing track conditions as well. Looks like it's becoming a bit cloudier out on the racetrack.
I was just going to note that.
Yeah, this will pull down the track temp just a bit, and of course, grip levels are going to skyrocket, but it's still running around 95 out on the track, but...
May take a couple laps for that to really come into play, but for right now, still a pretty slick racing surface. So Latham Joyner and Liam Sheen will lead us back to the green flag. Paul Granada, Scott Yost, and Parker White round out your top 5. Pace car is going to get right out of the way here, and we're back underway here, just shy of the halfway point.
Oh, looks like Webster is going to split it 3 wide around Scott Yost as Miller...
They might go 4.
They're looking for right now. Yost is gonna box in the 31. They're caught. Oh, no!
That's a huge wreck. Oh, that's a lot of people. Schmidt's in his second wreck of the night. Seth Hood just got collected. Byer, Cruz, Hess.
They're
still wrecking.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Oh,
and
Miller's still wrecking.
And to Byer, his teammate, Kyler Wynn, went as close to flipping over as someone could get. And an absolute crap ton of people just got swept up in that. And for what it's worth, staying out on older tires does not work.
Johnson got boxed in. He should have went with Webster up on the high side. I don't think he expected that to really happen.
Look at Sartaj, he missed that. That 49 missed all of this on the high side, and there you notice your tire difference.
Austin was trying to check up.
Oh, look at all of those guys. Nothing they could do. There's where Seth Hood got into it. Who got into Kyler, though? That was ugly. But you'll see the Sartaj in the 49. Watch him just scoot right by all of this on the outside. And then there's Dane and Nick and Dallas and then everybody else. And somebody lifted Kyler Wynn up from a
Peter
standstill.
Kenny.
Oh, man. Yeah, So that's going to take a lot of people, at least out of contention for the win, if not out of the race entirely.
Oh, that sucks.
So we'll see who got the free pass out of all of that. It's entirely possible with the amount of people collected, the free pass car may have ended up in the wreck, but looks like it may be Michael Kenner in the 14 getting his lap back. What I'm interested in, though, is if these top 2 are going to pit or if they're going to stay out again.
I think they're still going to bet to stay out because they're going to stick with their strategy until, I'd say, we have a late race yellow around lap number 45. I mean, that's not really late, but around 20 to go in which you could use that set. I'm not sure how you're going to strategize with the second set. Because, of course, I see everybody pitting around. Yeah, that's right. Once you pit around 20, 15 to go, how are you going to use that second set to your advantage? There's very little racing left around that area. Unless if we get a green-white checkered or something like that, that'll play to their advantage. But they're going to be stuck all the way back, looks like, I'd say, from 15th on back. So I'm not sure about this strategy, but we'll see how it plays out for Latham Joyner and Liam Sheen. But, of course, those drivers who got ran over, Scott Yost, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to really make something off of that. But he's going to go a lap down as well, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, and with Latham and Liam staying out, that means Christopher Weil cannot take the wave round once again. So he's still trapped 2 laps down in 35th. And we're past the halfway point of this race as well, so time is running out for Chris to be able to get those spots back. And I think if Chris wants even a halfway decent finish, he's going to need a lot more attrition like what we just saw in that huge wreck. So Unfortunately, those connection issues may end up coming back to hurt him now, but the only thing saving him from completely losing the points lead is the fact that Blaze Crawford and Jake Sylvia didn't even show up tonight.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
Dominic's 5th on the board right now and 5th in the standings, so that 86 car is best positioned to make a run at the points lead, and then Dallas Myhand, who just got caught up in that wreck, came in tonight 4th. So we'll see how he does from here on out, but he's out of the top 20, at least for the time being, so Dominic, out of everyone, definitely has the best shot to try and take the points lead, or at least definitely close the gap.
We'll go ahead and drag in the 86 into the booth. Hey, Dominic, you got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man, I see you're currently running in 5th. I know it's 1 to go right now, but how's the car looking out there tonight?
We tore the left front off on lap 1, and something's not right in the suspension, but we're going to go for a win anyway.
I see you're sitting 5th right now. You're looking nice as well with points. Of course, Christopher Weil with problems. Blaze Crawford, Jake Sylvia, no-shows. So you're sitting fairly nicely in that 5th spot. How are you going to maintain this top 10?
Hopefully cautions come the right way. Got 1 set of tires left. I don't know. Good stuff should happen to us. If it doesn't, oh well.
All right, bud. 10 for Dominic Allen. That number 86 currently sits 5th. Good luck in the restart, bud.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, one of the very first...
Not a bad way to look at it, either.
Yeah. Probably do that more often, of course, now since we're in the iSCAR Discord.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and spark it out with another start as the 003 Latham Joyner will lead the field to the green. We're up and away here at Chicagoland. And the sun just comes out at the right time. Leon Sheen swoops himself down low, boxes in the 86 to Dominic Howe, but they go side by side for the lead. Webster with an open hole in that number 9, and he'll shoot out to the front as Latham gets loose right up off the corner. He'll drag the 86 to Dominic Howe with him as well, and the 86, just as he wanted to go, is in 2nd place.
Yeah, good move there from Webster to retake that race lead. Won't get stuck behind any of those guys on older tires. And you see Latham already out of the top 5, and Liam's not far behind him. So Dominic up into 2nd. You just heard him on his interview. He said something's a bit messed up with his suspension.
Liam! Oh, looks like he alt F4'd before anything happened, but he did get loose.
Well, I mean, it sucks for him.
They're 5 wide!
What? Okay, no way they don't reckon a 3. No way.
They don't.
Wow, alright. That was daring, but it worked. Yeah, too bad for Liam, but at least he, I guess, sacrificed himself for the greater good of the race and alt F4 before a caution came out. So a tough way to end the night for Liam as Dominic hit the wall.
He had to run.
But with Liam actually disconnecting from the race that way, that's another spot for Christopher Weil. So that will put him up to 34th, but he still needs a lot of help to get back on the lead lap, and then even time to try to pass anybody if he does get on the lead lap.
Ibrahim
so
Dajani.
41 definitely not out of the woods still.
Yeah, that's right. Ibrahim Dajani in that number 4 having a really nice run. He's currently sitting himself in top 10. He's getting passed by a couple of fast guys, Brody Gardner, Austin Johnson.
Oh, Brody got the apron.
Oh, we'll see if... caution comes out, though. Not for Dajani, of course.
Parker White. Whoa! Oh, no. Who is that?
That's, I think, Kevin White Jr.
Kevin White. That was odd.
Looks like they were...
I don't think this was the caution, though. I think it was for something else.
Yeah, of course, Kevin White spinning way after the fact the caution came out, but he checked up off of turn number 2.
That was interesting.
Yeah, he checked up. I think he was looking for maybe a wreck that happened right in front of him. Not really sure where the wreck was, though.
He may have bounced off Dajani or something. We'll have to...
Oh, looks like...
Oh! Is that a neck
sort of
code,
spooked.
Just Oh, yeah, maybe an overcorrection. So that was after the fact, but we'll have to get a look and see what the caution actually was for. Because it was
there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's a good
Grayson
save.
Collins and Brian Mullen, and then Schmidt with a nice save of his own right next to it.
Yeah,
and
Mullen,
then there you see Kevin White in front of him.
Mullen, of course, laps down, unfortunately, but nice save by that number 17 to keep it forward. And looks like a Brayson. Oh, we got tight entering one, and Mullen was just trying to come down. We, of course, expected him right on the white line, but really nice save for that 17. Of course, a nice save for that number 79. We're having a lot of nice saves all over the place, but Austin Johnson still taking the top spot on save of the day. And we have some drivers who will scoot themselves down onto pit road.
Free pass, not going to be Christopher Wiley. He's not the first car lap down. As someone just spun out coming into the pits.
I think that's Bianchini.
In the background.
Yeah, that is Bianchini. Not really sure what he's doing there. Might have drunk a couple of ones. Drunk.
Wouldn't be the first time he's done that during the race.
No. I know he was drunk during the Michigan race. He ended up winning the thing anyway.
For what it's worth, as a disclaimer, driving drunk is not recommended whether you do it on iRacing or in real life. This is not an advocation for that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I guess some people are better driving when they're drunk than when they're not.
I don't know.
But, again, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
iSCAR strongly discourages drunk driving or OUI. Don't do any of that crap. That's bad. But yeah. So Cody still leads here. Dominic in second. Sartaj up to third. Carson's fourth, and Jackson Menchu in the 099 rounds out your top five because it's been quite a night like that. Good run so far for Jackson. I haven't mentioned him all night tonight up until now. So we'll see if he can stay himself up there throughout the race. And it looks like Scott Yost, I believe, in the 85 was the free pass car for this caution.
Yeah, now he's on the lead lap. A couple of other drivers going to hit pit road to maybe, take on their final set or...
I think there's one car behind Scott. It looks like Tyler Connors is a lap down. And then Chris was right behind him, 2 down. So if Tyler stays on pit road long enough, and he gets lapped a second time, then that could be a pass for position by Chris, but more importantly, it could put him in the free pass spot.
But he's going to have to hope for 2 cautions to play to his favor. Of course, he's 2 laps down, unfortunately.
But that's definitely something to keep an eye out for when Tyler gets off of pit road and if he does end up going 2 laps down or not. So... again, definitely something to look out for is, with Dominic Howe in second, the points lead could literally depend on when Tyler Connors leaves pit road. Looks like Latham Joyner actually pit on the last restart, so he might be the car with the freshest tires in this whole top 10. And
Connors
it looks like
does get lapped, so...
So if Chris stays out, that'll put Chris into the lucky dog spot. There he is in the 41. So that's big, because if we do have 2 more incidents, that could put Chris on the lead lap, and they'll be able to see how far up it through the field he can go. Of course, he did start himself in the top 5, in fact, on the outside pole. So we know he has the speed, but just hasn't been able to show it all night tonight.
Looks like the 31 of Johnson has the freshest tires out of this top 10. I'm not sure if he's going to go anywhere, nor I'm not sure if those tires are going to be well suited to duke it out with other tires that are only 5 laps older. We'll have to see. He's up in the 8th place, so already had one great save earlier. We'll see if he could use it, to his advantage and use that track position and fly forward. Here we go for the start. For the restart. Webster in the 9, Dominic in the 86, Sertaj in the 49. We'll take the green flag this time by. We're up and away here at Chicagoland, and they're already fanning 3, 4 wide to the back.
Yeah, a couple cars just didn't have a great restart, so they'll fan them out fairly quick. As Sartaj will hold on to 3rd place and might go 3 wide here out of 2. Menchu, Brody, and Thomas Lloyd, and they're all over the place here down the backstretch. This might be another wreck soon, as there's just not a lot of room.
No, there wasn't.
And there it is. That's Kevin White, and I don't know who that other car was, and that is the caution, and that should give Wild the free pass. and put him just one lap down. And there's the 147 up against the outside wall, and I'm not sure who got into him, but Kevin White definitely with the worst of that exchange. And just as I mentioned, they just ran out of room there into turn 3.
Yeah, it looks like Clapper in the 34 was...
Oh,
got clipped.
oh.
The 03 of Latham Joyner looks like clipped the right rear of Peter and shot him up.
I would not fault Latham for that, though. That was...
Yeah, I think he was just trying to come down, of course.
And Peter came up. I think he may have wiggled a little bit. Yeah, you'll get another look here. I mean, yeah, right there, Peter, and then just washed up right in front of Latham. And good save by Peter, but not a whole lot Kevin White could do.
That's right.
So that... And it looks like Chris will indeed get the free pass, so he'll be only one lap down there in the 41. So if you have one more yellow and nobody else gets lapped, that 41 may finally be back on the lead lap. And if he has a tire set left, that could make it interesting.
Speaking of tire sets, nobody gonna fling down pit road to elect to use their second. I think they're gonna have to have a solid green flag run-in to use that second tire set, but I'm not expecting a lot of green flag laps to be ran, especially with only 19 laps to go and every position up for grabs. We still have at least 32 drivers on the lead lap right now, so for all those 32 drivers, they're going to be gunning, of course, each and every spot that they can. And Chicagoland restarts are always hectic, so if we do get a solid green flag run-in, and we'll have, for those drivers to maybe use that second set to their advantage toward the back, they have to see a caution with less than 10 laps to go to make something off of it. And they have to hope for the next run to go green all the way, so they could have a lot of racing in, or maybe some green-white checkers as well.
Yeah, a bunch of different scenarios still in play here tonight at Chicagoland. Coming to 18 to go, should get the restart for 17. I believe 4 cautions so far. Relatively, I mean, I guess it's a relatively clean race, but there's been some really, really great racing so far tonight. 3-4 wide all over the place. Unfortunately, that's led to a couple wrecks, but definitely one of the more exciting races of the season so far in terms of on-track action.
It's like 6 cautions of the day. I've ran at least, I think, half the race under yellow with these 6 cautions. We only had 3 lead changes, of course. Our 3 leaders going to be displayed on the left-hand side of the screen. Brody has led 7. Cody has fell back from the lead, of course, when he pit, but retook it. And of course, the 003 Latham Joyner, he led a few laps as well. By staying out. There's a difference between tires, and the 024 of Noah Allison has the freshest set out of everybody. We'll see if he can use it to his advantage. He'll need a long run, though, for this to play to his favor.
Looks like we're gonna get the 1 to go. So we're gonna go green here with 16 laps remaining. Webster, Howe, Mon, Poindexter, and Austin Johnson, your top 5. And Christopher Weil again, now the first car and the only car 1 lap down. So if another wreck happens, lead lap again for your outside pole sitter. But Dominic Howe definitely with the best position. Still over 25 spots ahead of Christopher Weil, which was the points gap coming into tonight. So if these results hold, that 86 will walk out of here the new points leader here in the Yost Auto Sales Series.
Here we go. Go with another restart. Webster trying to make it 2 in a row here at Chicagoland. He won the last race over Dylan Basin in a green-white checkered. Here he is leading the race yet again. He's dominated most of the race as well. And we'll see if he could close the deal with just 17 laps to go. He has a teammate right behind him, Sir Taj Mon, to help as well. The pace car will scoot left. They're going to stack up from, I'd say, 1st to 10th. Green flag is out, and they're already fanning 3 wide. Spire in the 7, who's trying to pass the 04. Looks like Josh Patterson.
3 wide already. Yeah, it looks like Patterson's back on track. He's at least 20 laps down after his disconnection earlier. And they're all over the place once again on the backstretch. It looks like they're fanning out more on the backstretch than they are on the front off the restart. And Dominic is all over the back bumper of Cody Webster looking for the race lead. But will he be able to get it?
Oh, man. Dominic got a huge run in 3 and 4. He just got boxed in by Webster, who did a nice job of defending. That's Poindexter in the 21, who's sideways.
Nice save.
Nice save as well.
Going to cost him some spots, but at least he keeps it going. And here comes Dominic. He's going to try again here to turn 3. Looks up high, but nothing there for him. But he might get into the 9 here. This is really close out of 4. He's got the nose under him, but a big block there from Webster. 14 to go here at Chicagoland, and we do have a caution. And now that'll put Christopher back on the lead lap.
Looks like this one's for William Schmidt toward the back. So now we're having a span of cautions, which is playing out to all these drivers for track position, but it seems as though...
He may have gotten help.
Yeah, he might have gotten helped. 3
wide here into 3. And survey says...
Oh, looks like Scott Yost. Oh, overcorrected.
Oh, he almost had it, and then he didn't. Looks like nobody else involved, thankfully, but a tough break for the 79, who's already been in 2 other wrecks tonight, including that big one on lap number 1. So a bit of a long afternoon for the 79, just got a bit longer than it already was. Hopefully he'll be able to finish the race out, though, with just 13 to go. And for the first time since lap 1, Christopher Weil now finds himself back on the lead lap.
Poindexter was really bottled up in traffic. That number 21 was all over the place. He
may have been on older tires, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he got pinballed all over the place, and now that 21 will find himself on a pit road. Unfortunately, he'll be shuffled all the way back to, I guess, around 20th. He's not going to have a lot of racing left here.
So Chris is going to be around 30th or so, despite being on the lead lap. And with Chris being the free pass, he can still pit without the risk of losing a lap. So it would not shock me at all if Chris pits and gets a tire set, put his last tire set on.
Yeah, he'll have to take the wave around first. Get himself caught up with the field.
There he is. Looks like Tyler Connor's also getting the wave around.
Not sure why the 44 got the wave around.
I was about to say, the 44 should be behind the 41.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
oh, it looks like...
Tyler's still a
wow.
lap down.
Yeah, Tyler's still a lap down, but Christopher, he was thinking on going on a pit road. The car slowed down in 3 and 4. He was probably maybe wanting to go on a pit road to take on that tire set, but the field was literally right behind him. He would have gotten lapped again. That's what I mentioned earlier, that for usually a free pass car, you're going to have to catch yourself back up to the tail end of the field before you could hit pit road.
I think Schmidt might be being scored ahead of Chris. That might be why he just slowed down the way he did. And that was somebody else that came off pit road. So we'll see if Chris pits this time. Because with the field only in turn 1, he might be able to get a stop. And it looks like he's not going to.
Now, I'm surprised. I'm not sure if he used up his 2 tire sets either.
He might have. But if he still has one, I think he could have made it and then gotten out in front of the leaders. Maybe he had some optional, or maybe he had some required damage repair that would have taken too long. Never know. But we'll see what he can do with just 11 laps to go now that he's finally back on the lead lap.
So it's Webster, Dominic, Brody, Austin Johnson, who's now worked himself back into 4th. So top 4 have been the fastest 4 this whole entire race. And now since they're grouped up together for the restart, this is going to be wild, especially with Brody Gardner in the mix. You know how aggressive he's going to be. But Dominic's been faster than Webster, especially on shorter runs. And it looks like the damage that the 86 received wasn't as bad as I thought. So I'm fairly surprised about that, as we're going to go ahead and probably take the 1 to go. And we'll re-rack him up with, I think, looks like 29 cars on the lead lap. And we'll take the restart with 10 laps to go. But I expect more cautions. Dominic could finish in second place and come up away with a points lead, most likely. I don't know, but Christopher, since he's on the lead lap, he could salvage some points and keep himself ahead from Dominic Howe, because the gap between Dominic and Christopher, that's a 26-point gap, and there's 30 cars on the lead lap, so Christopher could definitely salvage his points lead from tonight.
Yeah, Dominic's still in position to take the points lead away from Chris if the results as they are now stand. But now that Chris is on the lead lap, if we have another wreck and some people end up retiring, I mean, I think the gap is definitely going to end up shrinking for sure. But it's a matter of, can Dominic stay up there and how many spots will Chris gain? But 10 more laps to find out as Cody hits the gas, and we're back underway here, and somebody didn't go on that high side. That's Menshew.
Frimpong split the middle under Menshew. I think that's going to be a black flag for passing under, because you can't pass a... Yeah, I'm not really sure, or unless he was behind the 04. But here we go, side by side for the lead. Dominic's going to work himself downstairs. We'll see if Gardner is going to go with him. Looks like no.
All right, man.
But a caution comes out, and I'm not sure who the leader was.
I think Cody still had it. But if that is a black flag for Frimpong, that's a tough break, though, because he just got back up there after being wrecked earlier. And it looks like Charlie Byer involved in... Did you just lose it?
Yeah.
Whoa, Chris!
Whoa, man, Scott Yost! That would have been disastrous.
That had overcorrect back up into the field, and somebody was going to go flying into the catch fence, written all over it, but somehow everyone missed him. Right there, and Dan Cruz and Christopher Weil, looks like Scott did get the wall, but that was a really close call for all three of them.
I'm surprised how that car
the way it just shot back
up. Yeah, the way
like
it
that.
shot back up.
That was weird.
Yeah, right there. I'm amazed about that. But yeah, at the same time, I'm happy that nobody else got involved, but
that was bizarre.
He was dead sideways at a 45-degree angle, and he still overcorrected. That's like something you don't see. I'm not sure if it's like the tire model or something like that, or the way the car's just set up, but I've never seen something like that here on iRacing.
I mean, I can see that if that was in like the middle of the turn, but he was almost out of the turn onto the flatter backstretch. So that definitely interesting, but again, thankfully nobody else got involved aside from Scott tapping the outside wall.
So now this will put the restart with 10 laps to go to 5 laps to go. This is giving less time to all those drivers toward the back who slapped on new sets to make up some ground, and they're going to be as aggressive as they can, so that might make for another caution. Right now, though, it's playing to Webster's favor because Dominic has been really, really good on short runs. He's going to do all he can to grab that top spot. First while, now he sits in 26, so the gap, if they were to finish right now, Dominic's sitting in second, Weil sitting in 26th. Weil would run up away with this thing by a point.
Looks like no black flag for Mark Frimpong either, by the way.
Ah, okay.
So he's good for that restart. Which is great for him. Again, he had just gotten back up there after being involved in one of the earlier incidents, so he'll have another shot here at a top 5 in that 53 machine.
And that means he was stuck behind the 15 of Kenner. I thought Frimpong went through the middle because I thought he started on the high side, but I guess not. So no penalty there as Kenner in the 14 warming up his tires. He came out of nowhere, by the way. I'm really curious on where he really came from. So first time we've seen him all night. The highest running Nova car for right now. Got a lot of teams that are up here in the mix as well. Of course, up front it's Proximity. Second place is an Independent. Third place of Howe. Third place of Howe. Third place of Garner. He's a SPM machine. Austin Johnson. He's an Independent. And we got Nova in the mix. 53 of Frimpong. He's a rapid driver. 63 of Lloyd. He's on Lloyd Racing. Paul Granada, Nova. We got like 4 or 5 teams dotting inside this top 10. So good to see some diversity rather than Proximity, just absolutely dominating. Here we go. Oh boy, it's gonna come down to Al Webster's gonna nail the restart, but man, Dominic's just had such good turns 1 and 2. He could get huge runs, but Webster, of course, throwing blocks into 3. Really stalls out the 86. There's gonna be a time those two are gonna try to make contact, but here we go. They're gonna stack up. Green flag.
That might be a restart. Oh, there it is. Oh, Seth Hood and Chandler. Dejani almost goes upside down. And that's going to put us in a green-white checkered territory.
Wow, that was huge.
Christopher Wells got to hope that he missed that. I don't know if I see him anywhere. But somebody on the high side just didn't go, and Seth Hood just got right-reared, and everybody piled in. I was afraid that was going to happen as soon as I saw them stacking up, and sure enough, it did. But man, that was
huge.
That was huge, yeah. Looks
you
like
see the
Seth
gaps
Hood
between all those drivers, and of course they're starting to take evasive action, but
too
late.
Chris did get a lot of damage. Oh man. So he finally got back on the lead lap, and then this happens, and there you see Dejani get up on 2 wheels and almost flip over. He would have barrel rolled if he did.
And it was the...
It was like Penny got into Seth Hood.
Yeah, Seth Hood in the 105. The
cars on the bottom are lucky. Look at the cars on the bottom. They're lucky they didn't get wrecked too around Thomas Lloyd. Corey Long got collected as well. But you see right there, both lines stack up, and unfortunately for Seth Hood, he got the worst of it. And so he got run into by Peter.
Wow.
Carson got killed.
The 09 got really, really lucky.
Yeah, Colton. But an SPM killer right there. 3 of their cars just got collected in this mess.
There's
21
Dejani.
to 41 to 93. There's Dejani almost going over. Harrison Chandler in his second wreck of the night. But, yeah, I mean, with everybody going up to full speed for the restart, it's not surprising that this many cars ended up getting involved in it. Everyone's just trying to get up and get to speed, and at that point, just no reaction time to slow down.
Webster has the right to play restart games as well. Howe, he has to play restart games to, win this thing. But for Howe, man, he's really good on short runs, but I don't even know if he has enough laps to really make something off of it. And we've had 3 restart wrecks in a row. So what was like 15 laps to go has now turned into only 2 laps to go green. And again, even more bad news for all those drivers toward the back. Their time's run out. It's over. They can't really gain as much positions as they want to.
the guy that was probably most happy about that wreck is Dominic Howe in the 86 because Christopher got collected in that. So that pretty much eliminates any chance that Chris had of really getting up there. And it looks like he may have had required repairs because he's not leaving pit road. So it took him over half the race to finally get back on the lead lap, and then his race ends that way, which really, really sucks.
Yeah, that's just so frustrating as a driver. You work so hard to get yourself back on the lead lap just for you to get involved in the next upcoming restart. I think the 41 was, yeah, he was taking optional by the looks of it. Nothing required. Works himself back at the racetrack.
I believe he got lapped, though.
No, he's the lead lap by the looks of it.
Last car on the lead lap, in fact.
Last car on the lead lap, so he made it out in time.
But, I mean, I don't know how many positions he'll be able to gain in just 2 laps with damage. Looks like he'll be restarting 31st. So, again, as of right now, it's going to be Dominic Howe walking out of here with the points lead, provided he stays up there. So it looks like Chris may have to start playing behind the 8 ball next week. But even though Chris ended up in the situation he's in tonight, he's still got to feel pretty lucky that both Jake Sylvia and Blaze Crawford did not show up. Because if either of them had showed up, he'd really be in a bigger points hole than he's going to be tonight. And especially as well, since Dallas Myhan really hasn't had that great of a night. Because he came into tonight even higher up in points than Dominic did. And he's been around 14th or 15th all night. So, I mean, Chris has been unlucky, but in a way he's also been pretty lucky overall.
Here we go. Gonna try again. We'll see what kind of restart that Webster's gonna elect. Last time he waited out, and that stacked up the field, unfortunately. It caused another bottle up. Caused a big stack up, and they went back under caution quickly. We're gonna go a lap into overtime. So 66 laps are scheduled to be logged. And we have 3 attempts at a green white check. So here we go. Webster in the 9, Dominic in the 86, Gardner in the 55, and Johnson in the 31. All have a chance.
Watch Frimpong on this restart. And they're in 5th. Looking for his first win ever in iSCAR in that 53. He's been pretty good all night. So we'll see what he can do on this restart as well. Michael Kenner in the 14. Where did he come from up into 6th? He got the free pass, I think, 3 or 4 yellows ago. But that 14, I wonder what he can do here on this restart as well. But here we go.
iSCAR will scoot itself left. Webster looks like Dominic timed it nicely there, and it'll be side by side for the lead into 1. But looks like Howe was trying to maybe pinch down the 9. I think he'll have a chance in the 1.
Brody's a shot 2. Brody's going to be side by side with him for 2nd right here. Out of turn 2, will Brody take it 3 wide? Webster's going to come up and block Dominic, and that's going to open the door for Brody potentially here into turn 3. But Webster's going to come down and block as well. And now Austin Johnson in the 31 up there in the picture. And look at Joyner making the high side work here. And Frimpong is going to go around.
We'll see if that brings out the caution, though. We made it to the white, though.
White flag here at Chicagoland. Tough break for Frimpong, though. Here comes Johnson side by side with Hal for 3rd. Looks like Dominic's starting to fade back.
Oh, he hit the wall. Here on he goes. Let's go. Losing the points lead as well.
Into 3. Last shot for Brody Gardner and Austin Johnson to try and catch Cody Webster. But it looks like it's not going to be enough. The dominant car of the night, Cody Webster, picks up his first iSCAR win of the season here at Chicagoland.
Oh, that is huge for Dominic Howe. He was 3rd on the white.
Oh, no, there. Okay, now it updates. Jackson Menchu with the top 5.
Where did he come from?
Granada with the top 5. Great runs for them. But that really sucks for Frimpong, who was in 5th coming to the white and got loose. But a great job by Cody Webster to hold on and take the win, and was, again, far and away the dominant car of the night after Dylan's disconnection and Chris's internet issues. And he capitalized and got the W. So he'll burn it down here on the front stretch.
That sucks for Frimpong, and it sucks for Kenner.
Kenner had gotten up almost in the top 5, and
for Dominic Howe as well. A lot of people got screwed on those final 2 laps because Dominic was in position to maybe get the points lead, but he got spun down the back.
I think he hit the wall and bounced off it, but at least from what the ticker says, Christopher Weil ended up getting 19th, and Dominic got 26th. So that went from Dominic potentially taking a 3 or 4 point lead to him actually losing ground to Christopher Weil. But unofficial results here at Chicagoland. Cody Webster, your winner here tonight. Brody Gardner rounds himself out second after winning last week, so great job for him. Austin Johnson third. Paul Granado with a great run in fourth. And Jackson Menchu, I believe, his first top 5 of the season. Latham Joyner, good run for him in sixth. And then rounding out your top 10, Nick Miller, Parker White, Colton Zimmer, and Kevin White Jr.
Charlie Byer, Henry Tabor, number 16 with a nice run. Harrison Chandler, Garrett Hess, Tyler Coners, Scott Yost, Kyler Wynn, Henry Clappert, and there's your points leader, Christopher Weil. Rounds himself out in 19th, Noah Allison in 20th.
Great run for Tyler there in the 44. Thomas Lloyd, Ibrahim Dejani, Seth Hood, Dallas Myhan ends up 24th, so he's going to lose some ground as well to Chris. Michael Kenner was in 6th down the backstretch. He ends up 25th. And there's Dominic, went from 2nd on the restart to 26th. Frimpong ends up the last car on the lead lap. And then Carson, Brayson, and Harry round out the top 30.
Kenny, Long, Cruz, Mullen, Sartajman, Schmidt, Sheen, Bianchini, Uric, and Patterson round out 31st through 40th. And Dylan All, Hunter Robb, James Youngman, all those drivers DNF to run those first 5 laps. We'll be back right here at Chicagoland. Stay tuned, there's more to come as we interview the top 3.
Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
1 more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, round 2 gets spun. Oh, Menchu gets the apron around the Strexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. It's 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Now between the 2 is 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek and Smith. Oh, Clapping gets third! Clapping gets third! Oh my gosh! side by side, 3 wide at the wire.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all his work here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
We welcome everybody back here live for tonight's post-race show. Riding himself out in victory lane. That number 9, Cody Webster, doing a phenomenal job of maintaining track position, of course. Got a bit shuffled back there with those tire strategy and such like that. But luckily for Webster, last season's champion finally returns to victory lane. But not only that, 2 races in a row here at Chicagoland under bronze. He finds himself here in victory lane. Congratulations, Cody. Talk to me about your race.
Honestly, it was about survival in my head. I didn't really get that much practice with what I wanted to do. I kind of threw a Hail Mary and went for 12-to-1 steering ratio. I went for 14-1 in practice, but by the time I did that, the track was way too goddamn tight. So then I was like, all right, screw it, qualifying 12-to-1, and I stayed with it for race, and it worked. Every lap was different, going into turn 1, going to turn 2, with the shade coming down the track, and then the sun coming up. It was just kind of like you're kind of guessing, and I think one time I made a mistake and got tight, but everybody else behind me happened to get caught up racing side by side, so it helped me out. But it was just really, you got to manage your tires and stay out front, and somehow I managed to do that and held off Dominic that couple restarts. I don't know how I did that, but made it work and brought it home first.
That's right, Webster. Last season, you were sitting here in victory lane defeating Dylan Basin. Here you are sitting in, did I say second place? I meant first, but here you are yet again, 2 races in a row. It seems as though Chicagoland, you like Chicagoland, obviously.
Yeah, I do. I like the track. It sucks that it's not on NASCAR schedule anymore next season, but I like the track. It drives great through all the series, but for whatever reason with the ARCA cars, I really like it. Like, last year was totally different. We had a different tire model. This year was, I didn't think it was going to be the same. It was nowhere close. The car was very weird. So, but I was confident coming into this where I think I can get my momentum turned around finally. And it worked. And I got a victory finally after a sluggish start for the first, whatever, it's been like 3-4 weeks now. So hopefully I can carry on this momentum into whatever track I decide to run next.
That's right. From your finish here today, you worked yourself into 6th in points, now 32 behind the leader, Christopher Wow. You didn't have a great points night, so Webster, now championship picture comes into mind. What are you looking forward to coming to these next few races?
Honestly, I just need to learn to keep my nose clean. I'm still learning this tire model, so I'm still behind the 8 ball. I don't think I'm good with it. So if I can just keep my nose clean in every race and just keep on learning and whatnot, and not get myself stuck in the back, I'll be fine. I'm ready for any track that's coming up. So hopefully, maybe I have a shot at the title. Coming in, I think I was 50 plus back, so I made a big dent. But I'm gonna have to have a good, next couple of weeks in order to really get up there. So we'll see what happens.
All right, but 10 for Cody Webster, last season's champion, finally returns to victory lane here at Chicagoland. Congratulations, bud, for the big W. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at Proximity Racing, all the new guys that are over there, new teammates. Thank all of them. Thanks Chase Sponsor for picking up a lot of great guys to work with. We got Rexford Engineering. We got Corey Hart's Media. Trace Shuttleworth's photography. All the guys over there, they're great. Of course, you guys for broadcasting, and Zeke, you for putting on the league. So I appreciate it all.
All right, bud, 10 for Cody Webster, and that number 9 rounds himself out after leading 50 laps out of the scheduled 66 here for tonight. Congratulations, bud, for the big W. Can't wait to talk to you coming post race.
Sound good.
That was the 55 of... I mean, not 55, the number 9 of Cody Webster. Not very sure what I'm saying.
Now I got 55.
Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and drag in the 55 of Brody Garner into the booth. And Dewey will go ahead and take this one away.
All right, Brody, got a copy?
Yep.
So you won last week, and now you follow that up with a second place run tonight. Looks like you've flipped the light switch on. You've been absolutely on a tear the last couple weeks. What do you think the difference has been between these last 2 weeks and the first 2 weeks of the season?
I have no idea, to be honest. I haven't really been doing anything different. Just been driving the race cars, I guess. So I honestly have no idea.
Well, I guess I don't know is a good enough answer, but either way, still much better off and surging in the points, I'm sure, as well, with a first and a second. But I'm sure this is a big momentum boost as well. But, I mean, you were up there all night. How was the car out there overall?
I like this kind of setup. It was a little looser overall, so it was fun to drive. Had some incidents that put me back into the back of the pack, and I had to drive my way through the traffic, but overall the setup was very good tonight. It was fun. Very fun to drive. I usually like these cars. They're usually set up a little looser, so yeah, overall the car was very good.
Yeah, a lot of guys are, I would think, or I would hope, would feel the same way. But, hey, man, before we let you go tonight, any sponsors or people you want to thank here for tonight's race?
I'd like to thank SPM, Proximity Racing. Congrats to Cody on the win. I'd like to thank Blue Chew Americas, Chew It and Do It. That's all.
All right, Brody Gardner, your runner-up here tonight at Chicagoland. Hope to see you back here for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
That was Brody Garner in the number 55. We'll go ahead and drag in our last person into the booth, the number 31 of Austin Johnson. But before we talk about your finish here for the evening, we have to talk about that save off of turn number 2. Austin, you were dead sideways, but you managed to keep it straight. My goodness, Austin, oh, what was going on right there off of turn number 2?
This setup is very interesting. It doesn't handle bumps well, so I was trying to get around the bumps, and it didn't like that either. So it got really, really loose. I had nothing I've ever felt in the practice or qual, and I think I got hit, but I somehow kept it straight, and then I felt like I had a good chance to maybe get at Cody, but I got involved in the wreck with Nick with the slower guys, so I don't know. Still got third though.
That's right, a really good effort here for tonight. Of course, started yourself all the way back in 6th place. Unfortunately, didn't lead any laps here for tonight, but a great, great effort here at Chicagoland. You had a solid shot there, but the cautions, of course, did that really hinder out all the racing that you could have worked yourself back to the front?
Yeah, the cautions didn't help, and I had also some damage from the wreck earlier, so I think that was holding me back. I was surprised to even get back in the top 5, but a lot of people had bad days. I mean, Mark was up there with like 3 minutes of damage somehow, so he was I guess the damage model is better with, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, of course, the new damage model in effect here for these national machines, but I'm interested. How'd the damage affect your car?
I didn't feel too bad out of the corners. I mean, it felt the same really. It's just a straight line speed. Felt a little hindered, especially on the starts. If I didn't get a good one, it would hinder me, but I felt like I guess I had fresher tires or something. I don't know. I was still faster in the corners, so I was able to stay there.
I brought you to a third place finish here for tonight. Congratulations, Austin, for a great effort here at Chicagoland. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Just Johnson Graphics, you guys for hosting and broadcasting as well.
All right, about 10 for Austin Johnson rounds himself out in third here for the evening. Can't wait to talk to you coming post race. That was Austin Johnson in the number 31. Scroll back to the number 9 of Cody Webster. And that will end out our broadcast here for the evening. For the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series, Chicagoland 97 crowns the number 9 into victory lane. But before we end out tonight's broadcast, Dewey, any last second comments?
Well, I said before the race it'd be one of the most unique races of the season so far, and I think I was right about that. Definitely some insane racing. I honestly didn't think that we would see as much 3 and 4 wide tonight as we did, and I'm definitely not complaining about it whatsoever, but hopefully the rest of the weekend ends up being as exciting as this was.
That's right. You can catch us live here with iSCAR coming to Friday night, in which we'll take the green at Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Truck Series Cup on Saturday, in which we're going to I think we're going to go to Dover. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we do go to Dover for 200 laps there, and in Richmond with the Xfinity cars as well. For next week here for the Yost Auto Sales Series, we'll find ourselves at your nearest track, Dewey, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So that should be a fun one to commentate as well. So until
I still
next
think
time.
we do the road course though.
Yep, that's right. But until next time, thank you all for tuning live here on the Max Speed TV broadcast from the top of the booth. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes. Did I just call myself a different last name? Oh my goodness. I'm all over the place. Dude, you can end it off.
Yeah, you know who we are. Thanks for watching.
Oh boy.